Check 1 2, check 1 2. Ravana Noon here to discuss the undead gods, the vampiric undead gods. What exactly are the undead gods? Well, there's a different definition for everyone. Okay, everyone's gonna have their spin on what the undead gods are. What I will tell you and share with you is the undead gods are essentially human beings that were vampire magicians, reached apotheosis before they translated after their death or during the transition in that death realm. They reached apotheosis, self-deification. And therefore, the undead gods are essentially a well of information, a well of vampiric gnosis. See, vampirism gets a stigma sometimes because of Hollywood and how Hollywood has depicted vampires. Then people who are vampire magicians themselves sometimes co-sign the stereotype. By them co-signing the stereotype, it then continues perpetuating itself into what we consider this idea of a vampire today. But essentially, vampirism is far more than feeding. Vampirism is a path to self-deification, apotheosis. It is a path that begins with self-introspection. To be a vampire is not to simply claim it. Most of the time, a vampire is of the blood lineage of vampires. Now, that could differ because you have European vampirism, you have African vampirism, so on and so forth. There is no one form of vampirism that was more superior than the other, although some would argue because of their supremacy concepts that are snuck in within their doctrine or information. Being I've learned various paths of vampirism, I've chosen for myself the African and Indian form of vampirism, that from India and that from Africa. And when you tap back into that form of vampirism, especially as a melanated individual, there is an awakening that takes place. First and foremost, the awakening is how your perception in life has always been different than the average person. Always been different than the average person. It is an awakening that is far beyond what most people expect. But it happens, and it can take time for it to happen. For example, vampirism is closely linked with the death current, something that is not commonly expressed or talked about a lot in vampire magic, but it is. This is why we're linked to the undead gods. We are linked to death itself. Some of our symbolism is coffins, and other symbols of death is associated with a vampire. Not so much that we are undead, but we've translated or we've conquered the concept and ideas of death. So this aligns us with immortality, not immortality in a state of physical immortality like some would like to claim or some would like to, accomplish, but in a sense of immortal consciousness. Your consciousness translates beyond the confines of the illusory world, which is person, place, or thing. Just to give you an example how many of us are confined by illusion. Name something for me beyond person, place, or thing. I'll wait. Very difficult, isn't it? But vampirism, you will discover the answer to that. Look, I'm not joking with you. You will discover the answer to that because vampirism lifts you past limitations, lifts you past mental limitations, mental blockages, and even physical blockages. Apotheosis is found within vampirism. Self-deification is found within vampirism. But that route begins with questioning everything about yourself, then questioning everything about society, religion, your culture, your racial background, so on and so forth. And then beyond that, question why, where, when, and why you place the limitation on your potential. This is beyond the limitation that's been externally put within you. Therefore, the undead gods, being a well of knowledge and information, are waiting for their real vampiric children. However, it is not an easy process to connect with the undead gods. Much of it revolves around a communion, which in that communion you either get devoured to be transformed, or you're devoured to be drained out, and essentially you are not a part of the vampiric current, which we do a vampiric communion within our Order of the Black Claw of vampirism, which is within the Temple of the Black Serpent, which is the temple is really associated around all aspects of vampirism, but we study all aspects of the occult, the left-hand path occult, and through that we find how the vampiric gnosis is found in multiple places throughout the left-hand path. As a matter of fact, vampirism is super essential for a black adept on a left-hand path to master. Very few do, because along the line, you are challenged. And the challenge comes in forms of worship or passing through worship to self-deification. Yes, the left-hand path, many on the left-hand path, unfortunately, I have to be honest with you, many on the left-hand path still worship. Many on the left-hand path are very religious. Many on the left-hand path never left religion behind and just translated it into the left-hand path. The ultimate goal of the left-hand path is self-deification. Apotheosis, self-deification. And I keep repeating it for a reason. Self means to deify you, not you and a bunch of whole crew. It means you and you alone. Now, you can share gnosis with others to assist them in their journey, which is a passion of mine. I do genuinely love to assist others and share gnosis with them that may assist them in their transformational journey. But at the end of the day, you have to disconnect sometimes and let them experience what they have to after you've shared with them. Okay? So vampirism is a path that is very primordial and very ferocious. It tears you apart, literally tears you apart from limb to limb, tears you apart from within. Every part of your consciousness, your psyche is torn apart. And in order to do that, you have to have courage, and you have to have supreme passion and desire for vampirism. It is beyond wearing fangs, although I understand why people do it, and it's cute, it's adorable, and sometimes it makes that person look very sexy. But what happens when you take those fangs off at night? You put it on a night table or in a glass or whatever the case you do. Are you still vampiric consciously? Or is just a charade you're putting on during the day to convince others, or putting on at night to convince others and not convincing yourself? To convince yourself is a very, very, very trying experience. This is why in sacred or spiritual orders, since the beginning of time, there has been an adage that still continues to today: tried, tested, and proven. If you haven't been tried yet in your journey through the Clipoth, in your journey through the draconian magic, in your journey through vampire magic, in your journey through necromancy, in your journey through so on and so forth, you will be. It is a necessary process for you to be tried, then to be tested. You must be tested to see if you're truly what you say you are. And then you will prove that you essentially are a vampire. The dark night of the soul is something we all must experience on the left-hand path. It is different than what others consider the dark night of the soul. Our dark night of the soul is so traumatic, it can knock you straight off of your balance into a world of chaos that is ultimately still necessary. So we have to understand this. We really do, because vampirism is essential. I wish, in all honesty, this is a fool's wish, that everybody that came through the temple would join vampirism. I wish that many really understood vampirism and why it is essential for apotheosis, but many won't. So the tunnels of Set assist with that journey, because multiple tunnels on the tunnels of Set are very vampiric in nature. You either devour or be devoured. There is no in between many a times. Okay. Now, do vampires believe in gods? Not so much. Do vampires believe in demons? Not so much. Some do, some don't. It is personal choice. What a vampire believes in is in themselves and the ability and the powers they possess that nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop them. Nothing can stop them. You understand me? Nothing can stop them in their journey. No one can stop them in their journey. And when it comes to feeding, I don't care if you put crystals beside your bed. I don't care if you put crystals underneath your bed. I don't care if you create a psychic aura around you. Nothing will stop a vampire from feeding. We are the epitome of a predator. We are the epitome of amorality, meaning against morality, meaning we're not moral individuals. Morality has to be addressed by each individual. In order for you to really transform, you must address your morality, which 90% of the time was taught to you or given to you externally. So you must address your morality. There is no way around it. There is no cutting corners, shifting, and trying to get away from it and thinking that you're still going to hold the same morality that you had before you came into the left-hand path, vampire magic, cliff path, so on and so forth, and you're never going to address it. That's really delusional of you. That is actually one of the most important things you can address in your beginning stages. The good or bad, the right or wrong, the this and that, blah, 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 blah. Get over it. Most of that shit was taught to you or given to you to keep you confined, to keep you controlled, to keep you as a nice servant and not a master. As I've said in multiple videos since I've been doing these videos for years now, you either are a master or servant slave. The choice is yours. You want to be a master? Get with vampirism. You want to be a master? Become a necromancer. You want to be a master? Journey through the tunnels of Set or a cliff off. The choice is yours. You want to be a master? Learn draconian magic. You want to be a master? Take the first step. That's all you can do. Otherwise than that, you're fooling yourself. You're lying to yourself, you're fooling to yourself, and you're making shit up that is not real. Okay? All these people who are out here telling you that they're here to channel a message for you and the spirits told me this and all that are delusional. I do not give two shits who the hell they are. I know some of these people personally. You're fucking delusional. The purpose for you receiving a message is for you. Your Messiah complex makes you think that I am beyond what that message is. So therefore, you create a new Messiah complex that I'm here to share a knowledge and information for everyone. Guess what? All that knowledge has been available before you channeled it, supposedly channeled it, and it'll be there long after you channeled it. When most people tell me they channeled this, I listen. Why? Because I hear nothing new. Therefore, I just stay quiet and be like, you're a channeler, all right? Yeah, you downloaded it. We're downloaded from where? Oh, the Akashic records. Oh, well, there's multiple Akashic records. You're only tapping into one, the one that you're commonly taught, convinced, or agree that it exists. What about the dark Akashic records? What about the underworld Akashic records? So on and so forth. See, I could keep demolishing your new age bullshit. I'm not a nice person, and I keep telling people that. I can be nice if I choose to, not because I have to. Okay? As a vampire, we are elitists. We do have an elitist mentality. I don't give a shit if you like it or not. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to motivate you to be a master over yourself, period. Sometimes you need a little kick to do that. But eventually, once the kick is accomplished, you're going to see it for yourself and become the master of yourself. And we still could vibe. We still could be in a class together, everything else, because that may be a part of your journey. But in no way, shape, form, or fashion am I here for downloading and giving messages to the world. Fuck out of here with that stupid bullshit ass new age crap. Stop it. You guys are really sick individuals. And what I mean sick, your minds are like twisted. For you to think that you have a message for me, you have a message for me is the most egotistical shit you can hear. No one has a message for you because you are the only one that can tap into your demonic self, your higher self, your true self. Only you can tap into that. And when someone tells you they have a message for you, run. First smack them and then run. Because they don't have a message for you. Only your demonic self has a message for you. And the more you integrate it into your life and stop compartmentalizing and disconnecting it and making it something distant or something outside of you, the less these things will happen. The message that you need is within yourself. All we do in these temples and classes is give you work that can possibly trigger that demonic integration to occur. As my good sister, the Cosmic Serpent, said on a lovely class that we had on Friday, we chose all the smoke on the left-hand path. We didn't have to go walk the left-hand path. We didn't have to face demons and darkness and underworld and death and so on and so forth. We didn't have to. We could have stayed on the right-hand path and try to reach it that way, which most people do. We chose the adversarial path. We chose all the smoke. We chose to be devoured. We chose to be destroyed because we chose to empower ourselves to be the master of ourselves. So therefore we are powerful. The journey, and I've said that Friday. It's a threefold journey. A lot of times the left-hand path. Yes, you could chop it up. You could chop it up in multiple ways. You could, many different ways. But the point is this, okay, is that simply, the reality is this. If you are afraid to take the first step, which is to be destroyed, you need not walk the left-hand path. Destruction is inevitable. As Agent Smith told Neo in the Matrix, it's inevitable. It's inevitable that you will be destroyed. There is no twisted way around it. There is no sweet, cute way around it. You will be destroyed on the left-hand path. You will be destroyed as a vampire. You have to be destroyed. There is too much garbage within us for us to reach apotheosis immediately. You will be destroyed. That's the first step. Second, you will be devoured. Devouring is different than destruction. I've said this before, but I hope you all catch it again. Devouring is energy. You're devouring energy, or your energy is being devoured for the express purpose of transmutation. You transmute that energy and recreate it into something that empowers you. And through that process of devouring, through that process, we become transformed. And through that, you reach apotheosis. You become the god over self. You become the vampiric master over self. Now, through that power, many forms and many usages of power, it is your personal choice how you use that power. There is no cutting around it. Some people love to empower themselves to be powerful themselves, and they like power over others. That is a part of it. If you feel that that's too dark and too harsh for you, then you need not be on the left-hand path. That is some people that choose that, and that is their right to do that. But as a vampire, when you begin the process of destruction, it is almost like laying in a coffin. So the undead gods can destroy every part of you that has blockages, obstacles, resistance, so on and so forth. It is literally being destroyed. And then you sit there in the void. They will push you to the void. Then you sit there in the void in a existent, non-existent moment in time. Complete nothingness, which eventually becomes something. And after that moment, some would call it the dark night of the soul, but it's a little more intense. After that moment, then the devouring. See, you're destroyed first, so you feel like you're nothing, like everything is destroyed, like your ego, your mindset, your all this, all the shit you thought you knew was gone. And then you're devoured. The undead gods start to devour you, start to take that energy from you, so it could be transformed into a strength, a power that then transforms you to be a vampire master. It transforms you to be a vampire master. On the Temple of the Black Serpent Instagram page, I have many vampires of all nationalities, ethnicities, and races. You got to understand, racism keeps you within the matrix. It keeps you stuck within the mindset of control. Break free from that, because race is one of the tools used to keep you encased and enslaved. Okay? When you break free from that and you sit back and see the world for what it is, everybody's been pimped. Everybody's been used. So all my vampires from all different races, nationality, ethnicities, I don't care what your background is. All I care about is you doing the work, and we come together sometimes to do work together. That's the bottom line. To my vampire queens, there's a lot you all have to share and teach people. Many of you are natural vampires. It's not something you have to try hard to do. It is something that naturally comes from within you. And you all have a secret weapon many times over other vampires. Males, some vampiric males can figure this out, others never will. But you all have a secret within your garden that only you can unleash through time and work. And that secret that's in your garden down there is very potent, very potent. And if vampire males or non-vampire males aren't ready for it, a female can devour you or destroy you through her secret garden. Keep that in mind. It's many things that I've learned from the undead gods, but I'm not here to download shit and share it with the world. And, oh, here's a secret. No, I'm serious about this work. This is why I have classes in the Temple of the Black Serpent. And I wish you all would do yourself a favor and learn more than just read the books that are provided for you, because it goes a lot deeper than that. You will never get the secrets of vampirism in a book. Cut the shit out if you think that. Just being real with you. You never will. Until I got initiated in that current, I realized I didn't know shit from reading these books. Now, there's some shit I know, but I still don't know anything, because it will take sometimes a lifetime or multiple lifetimes to really master that shit. Okay? So with the undead gods are there to assist you in your journey, and they're there to give you the gnosis necessary. Tap into them, y'all. Tap into them. We have an undead god ritual we do in the vampiric order, the Order of the Black Claw. That's in Patreon. You are serious, you are willing to journey, come get down with the Order of the Black Claw. We have a vampiric communion. All these things are getting ready to be released this month or next month, these rituals and these working, because we're getting very intense into this. Okay, very deep and intense work is coming through soon. Right now, I've just given homework assignments to individuals in Patreon to hold back from the work, because they are pretty much the ones who've been with me for years know when I hit that moment of just coasting, not a lot of work appears to be coming out. It's because I'm ready to explode a lot of work soon. So enjoy this time while you have it. Do the work that you have been assigned, because when that hits, you know it's going to be time to get busy from here to the end of the year. So enjoy it while you have it. All right, y'all. If you have any questions, you know where to reach me at. You can email me at the Vampire Temple of the Black Serpent. You can reach me on Instagram at the Temple of the Black Serpent. You can watch these YouTube videos, share it with others, whatever the case may be. But I do love y'all, and I do enjoy the connections that we've created with some of you all in YouTube land. Keep watching, keep sharing, keep liking, keep doing what you do. Y'all on the right path. You just got to realize sometimes you got to go further. All right? Infernal blessings, infernal greetings. May you all have a very dark night of transformation and good taste in what you choose to feed on.